Two sisters struggling with their health now say eating only animal products has eliminated their problems. Have a look.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are sisters, best friends, and carnivores.
You might be thinking, what the heck is a carnivore? We only eat from the animal, so no grains, no vegetables,
No fruit, no fiber.
It might seem insane, but that's why we're here to explain to you how we came to this place.
So let's back it up about 6 years ago, where Sarah and I thought we were doing everything we could for our health, eating super healthy, eating a bunch of whole grains, eating our fruits and vegetables every single day, avoiding fats.
And we just kept getting sicker and sicker. Constant inflammation, migraines,
Chronic constipation, acid reflux,
brain fog, fatigue, rashes on my body,
poor metabolic health.
and we finally became diagnosed with undifferentiated connective tissue disease with symptoms aligning with lupus.
So we decided to go plant-based last summer.
Vegan lifestyle absolutely works for some people, but for our bodies,
It was not working, and we switched to a ketogenic diet.
we were starting to feel better, but all of our symptoms still weren't resolved.
So being the science nerd that I am, I just did a bunch of reading about carnivore, and it all started to make sense. So I just jumped in.
I really like the taste of raw beef. I love raw egg yolks, love raw beef fat. As I go more carnivore, I actually crave this.
Since switching to this carnivore way of life, all of the remaining autoimmune symptoms that we've been dealing with have been resolved.
It's just been so empowering to be able to take back our health.
Sarah and Ashley now join us via Skype. Welcome. What do you guys eat in an average day?
We eat 2 meals a day. Typically, it will have some muscle meat, so any cut of steak is fair game. Then we'll have some organs, so whether that's liver or heart, and then a lot of animal fats, such as eggs and beef fat trimmings.
And I understand you guys also eat a decent amount of raw meat. Is that true?
We have had raw food before. I'm sure you've heard of steak tartare, but for the most part, we don't focus on raw foods. We cook most of our foods. We have had it before, but it's not our normal day-to-day. Yeah.
The symptoms that you were having, you felt that you were sick, you felt that you were off. You mentioned that you thought you may have an autoimmune or a connective tissue disorder. Tell us about the symptoms you had, when they started, and why you thought that, in fact, was what you had.
I've dealt with chronic constipation since high school. So that was one of the symptoms that I was dealing with. It was common that I would go 7, 8, 9 days without pooping. So I'd also deal with bloating, indigestion, acid reflux. Other symptoms I was dealing with was Raynaud's in my toes. I also was having chronic fatigue, brain fog, and then I had a lot of anxiety, which was manifesting as panic attacks and insomnia. So that's kind of an overview of the symptoms that I was dealing with. Yeah, and so a lot of Ashley's were going on under the surface, where mine kind of manifested on my skin. So I would deal with what you call the butterfly rash on your face, so red inflammation along the nose line, and then rashes on my skin. So I would go out in the sun and develop a hive reaction almost. I had zero sun tolerance. It was really, really strange. Constant eye infection. So I thought pink eye was a normal thing for people to get once a month, because it would just constantly happen to me. Dry eyes, dry mouth, swollen and inflamed joints. And then the reason that I actually went to the doctor to get checked out is because I had been dealing with a lack of blood flow in my limbs for so long. So my lower half of my legs would turn purplish orange. And so that's why I originally went to the doctor. And then that's when I got my blood test results, which showed elevated ANA, a low C3, and a few other things that were kind of pointing towards being diagnosed with lupus. But at the time, I didn't have the perfect blood work for that official diagnosis. And this was all, the original time I went to the doctor was probably 2017. But these symptoms had been going on probably since 2012.